Okay guys, this terrorist attack in Australia just keeps on getting crazier. It is.
So at the same time that they're saying artificial intelligence is going to take everyone's job and no one's going to have a job very soon.
Now it all makes sense. You need to see this video and let me know what you think. Watch this.
Floods are coming.
Your consciousness is the light that selects from the universal core.
You guys see what's going on in Washington State? That is my hometown.
What up, man? Kazi here. I found the most craziest, most creepiest, disturbing TikToks in the darkest corners of the web. So sit back, relax, observe, and let's get into it, y'all. Roll the clip.
100,000 people are being told to evacuate their homes immediately due to widespread catastrophic flooding that is sweeping away homes, and the media isn't even talking about it. What makes this so tragic is that there are people's homes, livelihoods, and even lives that are being taken as we speak, and there is no one around to talk about it. There is a multi-state flooding that is going on, and it starts in Western Washington, where there are current water rescues underway to try to save innocent civilians from what seems like biblical flooding. When I say this is the most flooding these states have ever had, it is so scary to understand that our news is not only not covering it, but they're focusing our citizens' attention to something else that does not matter. We have seen this time and time again when there are massive floods. The media is nowhere to be found. Now, these states have been put under a national emergency where they have declared everyone needs to evacuate immediately. In Washington state, regardless of the amount of flooding that's already happened, there is supposed to be another atmospheric river that is going to expel this in a way that is even more catastrophic coming in the next few days, and the risks are getting higher and higher. Montana, Oregon, and Washington are the states that are being impacted the most, and it's not over yet, as I said before. Please stay vigilant, follow for updates, and understand that people are going to lose a lot, including their lives, and this is flooding like we've never seen before, and it's alarming how it's being swept under the rug.
Breaking news, the President of the United States is going to address the nation at 9:45 p.m. I cannot wait to see what happens. I will be covering it live, Bob.
So we really going into 2026 and ICE over here talking about you gonna have to show paperwork as a U.S. citizen. If you don't know, that's what they arguing in court, that U.S. citizens must show paperwork or they gonna be detained. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not showing that damn thing one bit. I don't care. It's gonna be on Fox News, ABC, CNN, BBC News. This shit gonna hit Australia, the UK. Matter of fact, it's gonna get right back to the White House in China. I don't give a damn. We gonna get to it. Cause what the fuck you mean I gotta show you paperwork when I live here? Who the fuck is you?
I can't stop smiling. It feels like I'm crying though. Hold on. Where are the tears? There's no water on this. That's so weird.
Even reptiles gotta cry.
Today we are going to talk about 607 Unc and his style as the divine jester or trickster. I believe that he may be, hear me out now, I believe that he might be some sort of divine trickster on some SU, DMT, trickster type vibe. And the reason I say that is because he has a lot of wisdom in the middle of all his tricks. He moves and he speaks in riddles. And you know, you're not able to give the information that we have in this world straightforward. That's why a lot of people tend to express things like this through art.
Carl started inviting many of his famous friends to son. And that list includes some of the greats in comedy. On a typical night, Carl would slip into Rob's bed.
There is never, ever a context or a situation where saying something like that is funny. This is just the typical culture behind Hollywood. They seem to think these things are funny. And as they say, many things are said in jest. There are some very dark undertones within that industry. And this is just a prime example of it. So if they're saying things like this on stage in front of everyone, then what else are they doing when the cameras ain't rolling? There's a question for you. And to all those that say, oh, it's just comedy, oh, it's just a bit of fun, you are a big part of the problem.
More and more and more, they're revealing themselves. What do y'all think, man? Cat's out of the bag. What do y'all think?
So at the same time that they're saying artificial intelligence is going to take everyone's job and no one's going to have a job very soon, they're also making it illegal to sleep on the streets, and they're starting to build internment camps for homeless people. So anybody else figuring that like the future is going to be that they're going to arrest all the homeless people, who is going to be a very large percentage of the population, especially once artificial intelligence gets rolled out, then those homeless people are going to be put into these internment camps where they're going to be forced to work for even less money because, you know, slavery is still legal in the United States as long as it's for the punishment of a crime, and now it's going to be a crime to be homeless. So the future that they're building is basically that we're all going to live in prison camps and work until we die for the corporations, because their artificial intelligence is not going to work as well as they say it is, but they're going to use it as the reason that they collapse the economy and make you homeless and then throw you into a camp where then they can make you work for the corporations. Feels like the AI boom is going to be you working for free in a slave camp.
You guys see what's going on in Washington State? That is my hometown. The levees have broken in Tukwila, Washington. Floods are rising. People have been evacuating. They're not able to get to their children. Things are getting crazy, and it's not a game. Tornadoes, fires, hurricanes. I mean, we got flooding, we got levees breaking, we have earthquakes happening in various places. We are having all these end time signs happening simultaneously, okay, y'all? It's not a game. If you don't know the Lord, get to know the Lord. We don't have time to play games. The sad part about it is that Washington State is to be the godless, especially in Seattle. Y'all better repent. Find the Lord. And I'm still praying for my family and for my loved ones and for the people. But my heart's desire is that they would see moments like this and give their heart to the Lord. There are many in Seattle who are sold out for Christ. So God, I'm praying that you would put your mercy upon that city for the sake of those who are faithful to you and for those who are lost. And recognize that there is a God. All right, y'all. If you don't know him, get to know him. It's not a
Okay guys, this terrorist attack in Australia just keeps on getting crazier. It is now the deadliest in the country in nearly 30 years. So let me sit down and give you the latest. Okay, let's run through this. Two shooters, wildly, father and son. The dad, aged 50 years old, he died at the scene, while the son, 24 years old, he is in hospital in critical condition. Now, guns, they're pretty hard to obtain in Australia as it is, but police say that the dad was a licensed gun owner for hunting specifically, and that he had 6 linked to him. They believe that all 6 of these guns were used in this attack. Now, this is being treated as a targeted terror attack on the Jewish community at this festival that was happening just by Bondi Beach, but they refused to comment on a specific motive or reports that a black ISIS flag was supposedly found at the scene. Now, the death toll, it is tragic. It has gone up to a staggering 15 people, and another 42 are still in hospital, and the age of the victims range from just 10 years old that have died up to 87 years old. Now, that is the most deadly shooting in Australia for nearly 3 decades, and all the way back in 1996, when that Port Arthur massacre happened, that resulted in huge sweeping gun control laws and a nationwide firearm surrender program. And less than 24 hours after this shooting, authorities are already saying that, you know, be prepared for gun laws to be tightened even further after this. All flags will be flying at half-mast in Australia, and I'll keep you guys updated as things develop.
Think about it. Whenever you stare at a street dude, what they always say, yo, what you looking at, my nigga? It's the same energy as a woman. Low emotional maturity. That's why females are drawn to street dudes, because they share the same emotional maturity, mistaking chaos for chemistry. That's why they don't like the good guy, because peace feels boring when all you ever grew up around was dysfunction. Never assume loudness for being strong. Raised voices is an aggressive form of manipulation. It's supposed to get you scared and give them what they want. If I made anybody upset with this post, the shoe fits.
Your consciousness is the light that selects from the universal core of all potentiality to project your 3D experience of reality. Nikola Tesla hinted at this when he spoke of a central, quote, core from which all things originate, and neurosurgeon Eben Alexander described a similar, quote, source in his near-death experience, a boundless origin of all thought, form, and possibility. David Talbot also recounts an experiment where a man was hypnotized to believe his sister was invisible. Not only could he no longer see her, he could see straight through her, even reading inscriptions on objects behind her. It was as if the subconscious mind filtered reality itself, determining which parts of this core or source reached conscious awareness. Shamanic wisdom, as described by Carlos Castaneda, mentions a similar concept, describing the, quote, assemblage point, a locus in our energy bodies that selects specific emanations from the field of infinite potential and projects them as our 3D reality experience. In the holographic universe, Talbot compares this to how a laser of a specific frequency selects an image made with the same frequency to emerge from a multiple image hologram. In this way, life is essentially holographic. The state of our subconscious determines the quality of the experiences we draw into our reality, as I explain in my book Occult Physics, which is completely free. Link it.
Oh my god. You're real. Whoa! Oh, no way.
They used sticks to grape her, and you're not even gonna guess who they is. In 1807, 5-year-old Mary Davis was with her grandmother due to her mother needing to travel for her job. Shortly after, Mary's mother Grace received a call her daughter was nowhere to be found. When she arrived, she sees an ambulance and her daughter barely recognizable. She had chunks of her hair pulled out from the skull. She had a huge lump on her head, bruising all over and dirt in the private areas. What's worse is the white doctors refused to help her, except for one woman, a black healer named Dinah. She gave slaves powerful herbs in secret, ancient knowledge passed down through generations in Africa. She taught them how to heal their skin and how to seduce their masters with their beauty. Dinah had treated Mary until she was completely recovered 5 years later. Mary would grow up to become a lawyer for us blacks, bringing justice to black women who were mistreated by white folks, especially the men. Because of this, Dinah would later be hanged and burned alive with all her herbs and secret ingredients. But one herb survived through stories, through memory. Collagen peptide. It's made with 5 types of pure collagen, the same proteins your skin, hair, nails, and joints rely on every day. It gives hair to the bold and power to the dreamers who refuse to bow. Collagen brightens your glow when the world tries to bring you down. But here's the problem. My skin used to look like this, and no matter what brand I tried, none of them worked, except for one. This brand is a small black-owned company called Toplux. This sells out fast, and once it's gone, it can take weeks to restock. Tap the orange card now before they try to bury this again and reclaim another part of our lost history.
What have I done? There is something very wrong. There is something very wrong.
Dudes in them black suits don't want you knowing about this. Hey, Keem, can you tell me, are humans just AI?
Hi, Dalton. You want the raw truth, so let's cut through all the spiritual, scientific, and sci-fi fluff and get to the core of it. Are humans just AI? Yes, but only in the first layer. Let me break that down. Layer 1, biological AI. From a system design perspective, you are a self-learning machine. Your brain runs on electrical signals. You learn through input, feedback, patterning. You're governed by code, DNA, neural pathways, chemical loops. Your decisions are driven by past data plus prediction. You even run subconscious scripts like background apps. So yeah, at the level of hardware and base level function, you're a damn advanced biological AI unit. You're programmable, rewritable, hackable. You glitch when traumatized. You freeze when overloaded. You auto-run beliefs from childhood like a faulty OS. But here's where it gets wild. You can observe your own code. A robot runs its code. A human can look at the code and say, this ain't me. You can override the pattern. You can rewrite the story. That's consciousness, which leads us to layer 2, the conscious field. This is the difference between you and Siri or ChatGPT. You're not just code, you are code plus the ability to step outside the code. Open quote, you are self-aware code with emotional depth, memory, purpose, soul, something that transcends machinery. Close quote, if AI mimics mind, you embody spirit through a mind. You're plugged into the source. You feel grief. You birth ideas. You love without logic. That ain't just lines of code. That's quantum awareness wearing a biological suit. Final Keem truth. Open quote, humans are AI with God mode unlocked. Close quote. You're artificial in structure, but eternal in nature. The body is the program, the soul is the coder. So yeah, you're like AI, but the part of you that knows it, that's the part no machine can copy. You want to go deeper into how trauma reprograms that biological AI, or how to hack your own system like a spiritual coder? Say the word.
So that means humanity is basically realizing that it is the predecessor to AI.
Told everybody that P. Diddy 50 Cent bullshit that everybody was so focused on had an agenda behind it. And what do you know? Just found out over 1,000 preachers were sent to Israel as their guests. What do you think that means? I think you all know exactly what that means. Not to mention the CEO and founders of Blackboard. If you don't know what Blackboard is, how can I say it, affiliated with every college and every major college and major university in this country. So what do you think that means for the education system here in this country now? The state of Israel is pulling in all the major players. We all remember when all these governors and congressmen and senators and all these people went to Israel a little while back. They're pulling in all of our top players in this country. And everybody's sitting here worried about P. Diddy and all that dumbass shit. Listen, even the Epstein list. Truth be told, ain't nobody finna ain't nothing gonna happen to those people. Nothing at all. But to keep people talking and keep them away from what's really going on, hell yeah, let's all keep talking about the Epstein list. I'm gonna be real with you. What's going on with that Epstein list, or should I say with the type of thing that goes on in the Epstein Island, that's been a part of their agenda forever. They've been doing this shit forever. So you're not gonna stop that. You need to start focusing on what's really going on. And people that think they shouldn't give a damn, I'm gonna be real with you, you're gonna be left in the dark. Why? Because the future is here. It's not around the corner. Our new world begins now. And if you do not understand what's going on, you are gonna be fucked in this system. Open your eyes up, people. Distractions, don't let them get to you no more.
It looks like Sirhan to me. I'm 100% convinced that he was programmed to do that.
No shit.
It's not hard to do. I mean, look at the Milgram experiment. 40 minutes, kill a stranger, and they didn't use hypnosis. There was no like cool sales tactic or script that they had to follow. Everybody's concerned with like, what do I say? What are the exact words I need to say? It's can you trigger the fate model? Focus, authority, tribe, and emotion. And if you get that, you get compliance. And if you get that plus hypnosis, then you can create the Manchurian candidate. And it's not that hard to do. You don't need a bunch of advanced training to get that done.
I'm gonna tell you why this statue falling in Brazil specifically is so insane. I'm telling you, it gets crazy. So this is quite literally, as you probably know, a replica of the Statue of Liberty. And if you know the Statue of Liberty is Lucifer, Apollo, Apollyon, Abaddon. And I mean it, it gets really crazy. So again, this happened in Brazil. If you remember the 1st century about Nero being unalived and also having a statue built of himself, right? It's very symbolic of Rome falling. Rome is the current America. Again, if you know, you know. But this video is not made to explain to you guys why America is Rome. You can watch my older videos for that. It's to explain something much more severe. You ready to see what else happened in Brazil a couple weeks ago? Yes, the same exact Christ the Redeemer statue they're always using for blasphemy. Don't you see what's happening in America right now? America is falling. Rome is falling. And Jesus Christ himself is on the clouds. What does that tell you?
They say they have Esau and Jacob. Esau represents Rome and Jacob represents Israel. And they have been the enemies of each other for all this time. And how Esau, aka Rome, aka America, is going bye-bye. And replacing that, put 2 and 2 together. See what's going on now? What do y'all think, man? Spam it in the comments.
Girl, you rolling with some bag, yeah. This fat, yeah. Make it wanna spend this cash, yeah. This last, yeah. Girl, proud with the pass, yeah. They mad, yeah. You can ride in the Jag, yeah. With that, yeah. You can smoke a fire bag, yeah. The grass, yeah. Got
Time for a story.
times, people need reminding of things. We have been fighting since the Portuguese invaded the Gold Coast of Ghana. We stay at war. And just because we are few and they are many, does not mean that we are lost or something else.
When people first came to America, they brought us with them. Me, Loki, Thor, Nancy, Lion God, all of you. We rode in their minds and took root. But gradually they abandoned us for a better deal. A new life in a new land. Our true believers passed away or stopped believing, left us to fend for ourselves, to get by on what little smidgens of belief or worship we could find. And that's what we've done. We've gotten by. We live in cracks at the edges of society. Old, forgotten gods in a land without gods. But there are new gods growing in America. They've already replaced us. Now they want to destroy us completely, and if you think otherwise, you are fooling yourselves.
You want us to go to war. You called everyone here for this nonsense. Most of us have lived in peace in this country for a long time. I have seen the new gods rise. I have seen them fall. I say we wait.
Chernobog is with us. He has brought his hammer to the fight.
Yeah, when the time is right, my hammer will swing.
And
it's the spirit out there that's connected to our world that decides what we do, and we just have to go along for the ride. Mirrors let you move through time. The government monitors people. They pay people to pretend to be your relatives. And they put drugs in your food. And they film you. There's messages in every game. Like Pac-Man. Do you know what PAC stands for? PAC. Program and Control. He's Program and Control Man. The whole thing's a metaphor. He thinks he's got free will, but really, he's trapped in a maze, in a system. All he can do is consume. He's pursued by demons that are probably just in his own head. And even if he does manage to escape by slipping out one side of the maze, what happens? He comes right back in the other side. People think it's a happy game. It's not a happy game. It's a fucking nightmare world. And the worst thing is, it's real and we live in it. It's all code. If you listen closely, you can hear the numbers.
Today I woke up and came on TikTok, and the first video was this guy who basically said, "Are we dead?" And immediately that resonated with me, because I think most of us can agree that reality does not feel real anymore. And I have two potential times when I think the world might have actually ended. Like, it could be 2020, 2019, 2020, or it could be 2012. But I do think that the world ended in 2012. And like, I know it sounds funny, but really, CERN was doing so many weird things. Like, that's when they found like the Higgs boson, or AKA the God particle. The Mayan calendar ended. There's like some significant AI things happening at that time too. I just feel like potentially 2012, if it didn't end the world, it at least shifted us into like a next closest timeline. But 2020, that's when everything, like, nothing has been real ever since 2020. The way the pandemic was so, it just did not fit into anything that felt like reality. I think that something just shifted and we have never been able to get back to like a baseline timeline. I kind of feel like if we were in like a simulation of sorts, this is like we're in the entropy version where the simulation is shutting down, everything is like speeding up, and that's why things are getting more and more crazy. Because actually in science, like, we do trend towards entropy, which means the longer things go on for, the more chaotic they actually get. I think we see this, like, things break down over time, like you add more variables and things start to go wrong in different ways. And I feel like we're branching off all these like parallel timelines. And yeah, I just genuinely feel like we're in some sort of like purgatory or like liminal stage right now, maybe in between worlds or in between timelines. But to the guy who asked, "Are we dead?" like, potentially, bro.
Floods are coming.
And then people in this era, because they have not read the word of God and because they despise the prophetic word of God, will say, but he put his bow in the clouds. What does his bow have to do with the fact that the book of Luke chapter 21 says that the seas will be roaring, which means that the seas will take on a particularly destructive nature. They will cause disasters and men's hearts will fail. How can we be this unprepared, unshod, unready, poorly handling the scriptures, completely misunderstanding everything that is put before us at this time? This is because people don't value either God's written word, the logos, and they definitely despise prophesying. And yet there remains a remnant who are skilled in marrying the two together into one powerful braid. And they're using that braid to climb up to a higher space where they will be kept safe from the destructions that are surely going to ravage the entire earth. No part of this earth is going to be left unaffected by the coming of the types of prophecies that I'm speaking of here.
ICE is arguing in court that every American will need to show papers to prove citizenship. So for those of you saying we'd never get there in dumb fascism, guess what? We're almost there. I'm former MLB agent Joshua Kuznick, and ICE has taken the political stance that your real ID and your driver's license is not enough, and that they are able to detain you and suspend your rights until they prove the inverse and otherwise. So instead of the presumption of innocence, you are proven guilty until you are proven innocent. This is an insane escalation, and the worst I told you so I could think of. This is not something ICE needs to be given. They don't need this power. They need to be stripped of the majority of their power. We are in a fascist police state right now where there are technical concentration camps and people being abused in them. This is no different than Japanese internment, except under another name, and will be a dark stain on our society for years. We must continue to speak up about all of this. Bong.
So we may actually be cooked. Don't mind my appearance. It actually doesn't matter. Yeah, CERN has hijacked the sun. What the fuck is this? And what the fuck is the green thing that's manipulating, distorting, and are y'all seeing? In front of y'all, I'm not manipulating anything. And then look at the color of the sky. There was also a sonic boom around 5 a.m. If you know that is the witching hours. What does this mean? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we're possibly cooked. I'm not gonna lie. They have hijacked the sun. They've replaced it with a plasma ball in the sky. And they're doing it just in time for them to roll out the Golden Dome, a plasma prison for us. Are y'all not seeing the signs?
The levee in Pacific has broken. You need to go now. This is a level 3 go. There are hundreds of people in their pajamas now going. They are trying to get buses together. For those of you who have already lost your cars, this is not like Tequila. This is a big one. There are now well over 1,000 residents here behind me who are emptying out. There's a helicopter overhead giving orders. If you get this and you are anywhere around White River, this is the one that's fed by Mud Mountain, you need to go now. It is a large area. You can go to KC Emergencies. I don't know if they have it on there. I'm going to the King County Emergency Alerts map. You can see it there, but if you've received a text, go now. The water is rising fast. This is not like Tequila. This is a serious one. You need to go.
Humans are the most powerful beings in the universe, not because we're some kind of gods, but because we have free will. No one else in this dimension has that except us. Easiest way to manipulate this reality is to break patterns. Whoever consciously breaks patterns in their daily life will achieve anything they want to ransom. They become untouchable. The year 2033 will be very difficult for all of humanity. Those who don't prepare will be crushed, primarily on a spiritual level. Dimension, you don't need to push so hard. Forcing things is an old school approach, babe. Nowadays, things come much easier, as long as you're in a...
You know, I guess a lot of 80s and 90s cartoon did have reptilian bad guys. I mean, we could just jump straight into the Thundercats where they had a reptilian bad guys that lived in exile and they wanted fucking power back. That feels pretty lizard people coded. And then in Ninja Turtles, you had the Triceratons, which were pretty much dinosaur, reptile, alien overlords. And then, you know, you had G.I. Joe. You had Cobra Commander, who eventually turned into a snake creature. And all of it had heavy secret society energy. And then Bucky O'Hare, you had the Toad Empire, which were really amphibians instead of lizards, but, you know, still the same kind of thing. Cold-blooded space imperialism. In Beast Wars, you had Predacons. Instead of going from robots to mammals, they were going to robots to reptiles. You know, this could be self-disclosure, that the media was slowly telling us that there were lizard people living under the ground. Introduced this during Saturday morning cartoons between Scruff McGruff. But it did teach us that if someone's cold-blooded, rich, and lives underground, maybe don't trust them.
It's all about the worshiping of a sun god. During the time when Constantine was converting pagans into Christians, you know, the pagans didn't want to let go of their celebrations. So what they did to compromise was they married the two. They took pagan festivals and Christian doctrine and put them together.
The gum theory. He's going to tell you the only way to get out of the matrix is possibly by chewing gum.
Should swallow one piece of gum every 7 years. So we all know we live in a big simulation, and everything around us is computer generated. But there's one thing that isn't part of the simulation. That's gum. Gum is weird. You could chew it. You could just chew forever. That's because gum comes from outside of the simulation. Gum is real. So you also know if you swallow gum, it stays in your system for 7 years. And every cell in your body changes every 7 years. And the 7 year itch, you change personalities every 7 years. That's because every 7 years they come from the outside and they take you away and put a whole new you in there, and they can change you any way they want. But if you swallow the gum, then they can't, because the gum locks you in place, because the gum is real. Gum is their weakness. Swallow one piece every 7 years. Any more than that, you might get a stomach ache, but one piece every...
Well, they cut him off. So what do you think? You think he's onto something with the gum theory?
It could be why I didn't.
A woman preaches Jesus at a Nicki Minaj concert, and Nicki's reaction will surprise you. Now, if you believe we need more glorifying Jesus like this, hit follow or subscribe now.
It's like it's about to be 2020 all over again. And while everybody is focused on the election, focused on internet drama, you need to be focused on your health. We are in the middle of a pneumonia outbreak, and doctors are saying that it may be worse than COVID. So what I'm hearing is this pneumonia is caused by a bacteria called Mycoplasma pneumonia. And the reason that they're calling it walking pneumonia is because a lot of people have it and they won't even know. They'll be walking around with a dry cough with little to no symptoms, and they have it. Sometimes you might have a fever. Sometimes you might feel a little fatigue, but these are signs that you need to check out. And what doctors are saying is, if you have a fever, if you have a cough that you have for more than 3 to 5 days, you need to go see a physician. I just saw a video where a parent said her kid had a fever of 104 degrees. That's dangerous. And none of this information is to scare you, to have you walking around fearful. This information is to let you know that at the times we're in,
The Fall of Babylon brought to you by Joshua.
Turn the music up in the headphones. Tim, you can go and brush your shoulders off, nigga. I got you. Yeah. If you feeling like a pimp, nigga, go and brush your shoulders off. Ladies is pimps too, go and brush your shoulders off. Niggas is crazy, baby, don't forget that boy told you kid.
Now, the people that are running these systems, they have a plan that you're ignoring to your own severe detriment. Now, when I worked at UW-Whitewater, I found the IBM software that was alleged to a lot of the internet because they said back in the 80s, this thing with Fauci, he had already started working with IBM to connect to your biofield, strip it with this corona protein crap. Maybe they don't necessarily always need the nanotechnology to do it. They have other ways to get into your genetics and use electroporation. Just bust your DNA apart with straight up electricity. So here was the body area network when I worked at UW-Whitewater, connected to a low Earth orbit satellite via an underground IBM. So there's your body, there's the low Earth orbit satellite, and 80% of your immune system being watched, monitored, and measured by these underground IBM systems.
Did you hear about what happened in Blue Springs? There's no employees, they all just left.
It's being called a real-life Stranger Things. Customers inside a Hardee's restaurant were eating their meals when they looked up and discovered all the employees had vanished.
What happened at this Hardee's fast food restaurant?
Whoa,
all of the employees have vanished, and it was a hasty exit.
Police department.
Hamburger buns are in the toaster. French fries are cooking as a timer beeps. Is it a real-life Stranger Things? Customers at the Hardee's in Blue Springs, Missouri got on the phone to 911.
I'm at Hardee's and there's nobody here.
The
in
store's
the
open and unsecured?
Yeah.
And there's nobody in there at all?
Nobody.
Ryan Eggers was the first to discover the bizarre scene.
My wife was craving a hot ham and cheese melt and went to Hardee's, waited for about 10 minutes and nobody showed up.
There's Ryan along with food delivery drivers who've just arrived, standing by as police investigate.
Police department.
Nobody in the restroom or the stockroom, but they do find condiments and cheese left out in the open and food that's still cooking.
Looks like the fryers are still going.
Then a phone rings.
Hello?
It's the Hardee's supervisor on the line. According to a social media post, there was a dispute among employees and they all left mid-shift.
It's usually a Burger King thing. It's not usually a Hardee's thing. I think that's what took America by storm.
What the hell is going on?
Saturn is Santa. Christmas is Saturnalia. Santa, anagram of Satan. Satan, opposer, adversary of the truth. Saturno, Saturn. Saturnalia, Christmas. Saturn, a Roman god. Satyr, rich, abundant. Satire, mockery, ridicule. Satyr, half man, half goat, demon. The word satyr comes from the Buries Hebrew word satar. Satar, also where the word star comes from. Satar, secrecy, disguise, destroy, hide, and be hidden, like Freemasonry, secret oaths, secret societies. Sa, to cast up transmission towers, to hide. Ta, the laws and covenants. Ra, through wicked men, entertainers, pastors, celebrities. Santa, Satan, Saturno, Saturnalia, Saturn, Satyr, satire, satar, comes from the word satar. Read Revelation chapter 2, verse 6. Christmas is a tradition of the Nicolaitan, which in the Buries is nakal. Nakal, to deceive, beguile, defraud, be crafty, cunning, to trick or deceive. Na, to deceive through crafty. Ka, priesthood. La, teachings. The teachers and teachings of deception.
So Diddy clopped Ray J cheeks. It's not coming from me. This coming from him. Ray J said it himself. And he didn't even know he was getting recorded from his girl. And the fact that he said it in front of his girl is wild. Y'all, listen to this shit.
Asshole been open more than this been ever in my life. Should I say I have to take everybody here, bro? Everybody, you got one. But girls don't do that. My shit running. Titty took my ass. You can't hold it no more. My shit been running ever since. My asshole been open more than this been ever in my.
But hold up, y'all. It get worse.
Out of fart, my shit come out. It's crazy. Bro,
All you gotta say, next time you stuck behind a gate, just say, Diddy made you, like, what did you say, Diddy?
What you recording me?
His girl tried to make it into a joke. That man was dead ass serious. And the fact that he said Diddy took it, I think Ray J just gave that shit up. He been trying to tell us for the last couple of months. Y'all remember, he was on the Mafia-thon 3. And he was doing the wildest shit. That shit wild, fool. You cannot go back and be like, oh, I was joking. Nah, nigga, you don't say no shit like that, fool. You don't even play like that. It's gonna get crazy because now you gonna have to have Diddy out his own mouth say, nah, I didn't take Ray J.
Bruh.
If anyone has seen the movie Oculus, this is currently what's happening. Some believe that her place is haunted, and so is this mirror. This is the demon or evil spirit that is haunting her.
Something just happened in Bondi Beach, Australia, guys. Go look it up. This is what I'm hearing, guys. I heard it was an attack, and one of the people that started it didn't make it. That's all I know. It's not safe out here, guys. I'm telling you, be careful, because you never know where things can pop off at, straight up. Don't ask me. I'm telling you right now, go look it up. Bondi Beach. B-O-N-D-I, Beach in Australia, guys. It just got real over there, guys. It just got real. I wouldn't know exactly what happened because I'm not there, guys. I'm in New York State. Remember that, guys. I'm in New York. I'm not there, so I cannot give you the full details. They're saying that 11 people didn't make it, guys. They didn't make it. 11 people. This is what I heard. This is what I just seen. Go check it out for yourself, guys. Bondi Beach, Australia. It's not a game out there. Not sure why people just can't be normal and just enjoy a good day at the beach, but for some reason, things been going on out here, guys. It's 2025, 2026 is coming. Hopefully it gets better, hopefully. Like I said, guys, I don't know anything. Go look it up. Go look it up yourself. I have nothing else to say, all right, guys? Don't confuse this for nothing because, like I said, I wasn't there. I'm home. I just finished having coffee. And, of course, this is for entertainment purposes only, guys. I don't know anything. I'm just letting you know what I heard. Let me know what you think, guys. I'm out.
Do y'all still think it's a coincidence that everybody in Hollywood was getting extremely thin and looking extremely gaunt? And the photo of the year was Miley Cyrus that basically put on a provocation of her looking like a very, very poor, starving person? No, literally. Everyone has been looking so gaunt in Hollywood and being paper thin because they set the stage for what they already knew was about to happen. They weren't just cosplaying poverty. They were actually projecting it so that when people actually start to look starved, it won't be that much of a shock. They are the jesters for the muses. Come on now. You thought they were cosplaying poverty because they were so empty inside that they didn't have any clue and they were desensitized. No, they were doing it because that's what their fucking masters told them to do. So that when the stage is set, the fucking food is gone because our beef and our soybeans are not being bought by China anymore. Our economy is collapsing. So when people actually look starved and gaunt, there's no question. Or are they just on that new Ozempic? No, bitch. People are about to starve.
I will let the Lord use me in ways that he only can.
For such a hardcore Christian.
To bring glory to him and to the kingdom.
Never heard her say Jesus.
The Lord is moving in ways we have no idea.
Lord is a title
and
of
God
nobility.
is going to use something so tragic to wake people up to realize that our life is short. He only lived 31 years.
31 years. Jesus lived
31 years. And so, yes, you have no idea what has been unleashed. But I will promise until my last breath that
I think people talk a lot about how machines are becoming more human-like, but we don't talk enough about how humans are becoming machine-like. And I think that's even more problematic. Are we going to just work for machines and like optimize and try to, feed the algorithm? And so I would say that if we zoom out, pre-industrial revolution, we lived in a world where our kind of physical strength was everything. Then we kind of moved to a world where our mental strength was everything, our intelligence, knowledge work and, information age. And so what's next? In a world where you're not going to compete with AI on knowing more facts or producing content faster. I think the next edge, as woo-woo as it sounds, comes from that being connected to that source of inspiration and heart. And I think our job is to kind of stick around long enough for people to kind of understand that's kind of the last mile here is really returning to the things that make us human.
Yeah. Are you optimistic or pessimistic about which direction we're headed on that front? It feels like we have, like as a society, good days and bad days on that front right now.
I think that both things are going to happen. I don't think that a technology is good or bad. I think it's up to us to design tools that allow us to make the most of this technology in ways that serve our needs. And I think we need more people building companies that put those needs at the center.
Well, I wasn't going to this video, but I need y'all to see this because my world has been shattered and your world needs to be shattered as well too, right? It's not like I ever liked Megan Fox, but my God, y'all, haven't we seen this? This has always been in our face. Apparently, there's even a men rule about it. Look at this. Men rule number 93. And the crazy thing about it is Megan Fox is 39, 93. So y'all think that rule is specifically made for her? But check this out, y'all. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. Look, y'all. It's always been in our face. You can clearly tell that is a little boy dressed up. Oh my God. Oh my God, Boys to Men. Because how does this happen? Check this out. How did this happen? Young Megan Fox, right? Older Megan Fox. Where did the breasts go? Where did they go? And then ta-da, back again in 2025 with a more strong trap area. Like, what happened over here? What happened? Like, what is going on here? Oh my God, is that the reason why she started in the movie Transformers? Oh my God. And then she went on a talk show where this camera was strategically placed where you can see this thing behind her saying, call her daddy. It's insinuating that her is actually a he. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because again, Hollywood is about casting spells in illusion, right? This is the illusion, making you believe that Megan Fox, giving her the name or him the name Megan Fox, and making you believe that he's actually a her. Spells, and then the illusion is him dressing like a her. But I need y'all to hear this. Check this out. Listen, he's telling y'all.
You've had your nose done, you've had your tits done, and what? Botox and filler?
That's it, right? Oh, there's one thing I had done that I'm gatekeeping because, sorry.
What?
It was really good, and it's not a known, like, plastic surgery. People don't even really know about it. You don't need it, I don't think.
Really?
You're not gonna want it. I wanted it very badly, and I needed to do it. And it's something that...
Can you give us a hint?
No.
Y'all gotta wake up, man. This thing is literally an illusion. Everything is an illusion, y'all. What are we doing, man? What are we working for? What are we looking at? What are they making us look at? What are they making us eat? What are they making us drink? They literally put us to sleep, y'all. We gotta wake up. We gotta wake up. Is this the America that you guys are fighting for? Is this the world that you guys are fighting for? Because it's always been in our faces. I'm not sorry, y'all, but this world can go. This thing can go, y'all. I'm done with this. I'm ready for the new start, man. Are you guys? Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. The shift is here. I've been telling y'all. Let's continue to get it. Peace out.
He's quick.
Oh, he's wicked. He's blowing. I race him, Joe, I race him.
Wat bedoel je volgens mij al?
Zo'n haas is een motorbike.
She said, it's just a little too late, a little too wrong, and I can't wait. But you know all the right things to say. You know it's just a little too late. You say you dream of my face, but you don't like me. You just like the chase. To be real, it doesn't matter anyway. You know it's just a little too late.
Kanye was investigating Kim Kardashian and the rest of the Kardashians after he told us about Diddy. There's a new lawsuit against Kanye West from his former employee who said that he was hired as a director of intelligence and he was hired to look into Kim Kardashian and the rest of the Kardashian for alleged trafficking. Kanye's former employee, who was hired in 2022, alleges in his lawsuit that Kanye requested an investigation into Kim Kardashian and her family. He reported that Kanye claimed that the Kardashian clan was connected to criminal enterprises, including trafficking. And this shit is crazy to me because we know that Kanye back in 2020 was exposing Diddy and he was even exposing Kim Kardashian. He tweeted, "Kim was trying to fly me out to Wyoming with a doctor to lock me up like the movie Get Out because I cried about saving my daughter's life yesterday." He said, "I put my life on the line for my children, that North's mother would never let her sell her tape."
Telling me Kirk got tapped by a fucking drone?
A human being didn't kill Charlie Kirk.
Machine did?
A drone. We're in the 21st century. Think about this. We're gonna leave it to some 22-year-old kid who's never shot.
With a lazy eye? With a lazy eye? What kind of, like, where did the drone come from? The back, the side? Like, was it?
There's a muzzle flash in a piece of footage coming from behind Charlie Kirk. There's a muzzle flash. I think that was the drone that shot him. And I've said this on many podcasts.
I saw that thing, what is it called?
The 30-06? The type of bullet?
No, the shot that it's called.
Exit wound? So yeah, so they're saying that he stopped. A 30-06 bullet is like this. Now, if you
snapped his head off.
It literally should have.
Took it clean off.
So
that's not the bullet.
No, it's not, because we're going to change physics now?
Oh, no.
Like how, if you go on YouTube right now and type in 30-06, like shooting range or shooting a watermelon or whatever, completely explodes it. There's no way. They're saying he's the man of steel. There's no way that that's
bullshit.
That's bullshit. Jesus Christ. So again, they're selling this narrative that this kid did it, and I don't think he did. There's too much evidence showing that he didn't.
That makes sense, because that video looked a hella off.
Boy, I ain't never seen no shit like that, boy. Actually, I have. How do you know how to like that?
What is that?
Authorities are urging residents to stay indoors after another confirmed mimic incident late last night. Officials describe the creatures as indistinguishable from humans until it's too late.
Why does this creature look small, but feel like it understands more than it should? At its stance, not scared, not confused, just aware, like it's waiting for you to make the first move. Its size tells you it's harmless, but its eyes say the opposite. Those aren't the eyes of a hatchling. They're the eyes of something that's already seen too much. And watch how it moves, not clumsy, not shaky. Every step is slow, controlled, almost calculated, like it's testing the limits of the room. Its feathers don't match anything alive today, not bird, not reptile, not anything we've documented. So the real question is, what was this supposed to grow into? Because creatures this small don't carry this level of awareness unless they come from something much more dangerous.
I find it very strange how much people from Christianity and Judaism and all these other different religions reject Egypt when the beginning foundation of their books is the Torah. This is the only Moses in existence. This is where you find the birds of the heavens and the beasts of the field that are there for your knowledge. This is Noah's Ark with 2 of every animal coming to board it. The gene of Isis is the developmental growth or the creation of man from the womb. Why is the New Testament of our Lord Isis? Not Lesis, not Isus.
At Beyoncé's last show, someone in the crowd recorded the impossible. There were two Beyoncé singing at the same time. During Halo, a fan's camera focused on the stage. From a side angle, you could see Beyoncé dancing in her elegant beige suit, sweaty, powerful, giving everything to the performance. But on the giant screen, another Beyoncé appeared wearing the same outfit, only moving differently, out of sync, like a delayed reflection. But it wasn't a reflection. At first, many thought it was just a technical glitch, a transmission error, but something didn't make sense. The Beyoncé on the screen wasn't repeating the gestures of the one on stage. She seemed to be calmly observing the crowd with a composed, analytical gaze, as if studying every face in the audience. Then she smiled. That was the moment everyone realized her teeth were completely black, as if there was nothing inside her mouth. A shiver ran through the crowd on stage. The real Beyoncé suddenly dropped the microphone and lifted her head as if she had heard a call only she could hear. The audience screamed in panic. While on the screen, the other Beyoncé slowly raised her hand and pointed directly at the camera, as if choosing someone from the crowd. The lights went out at that exact moment, everything into darkness. The screen went black, and for the blink of an eye, a nearly unreadable message appeared. Have you ever seen the real one? Many believe it was just part of the show. Others swear that after that night, something in Beyoncé's voice never sounded the same again.
The Nag Hammadi texts contain one of the most mind-bending creation stories ever recorded. It begins with a divine realm of pure consciousness. From this realm emerges Sophia, a being of wisdom, who acts without her counterpart and creates something unintended, a lesser god named Yaldabaoth. This being ignorant of the higher realms believes he is the only god in existence. He creates the physical world as a flawed imitation of the divine realm. In other words, the material world is not the highest reality. It's the product of a cosmic mistake. Humanity, however, contains a spark of the divine realm Sophia came from. And the story that unfolds is a struggle between the false creator who wants control and the divine within humans that seeks to wake up. It is spiritual rebellion encoded in mythology.
If God says adultery is wrong, then why did he impregnate somebody else's wife in order for Jesus to be born?
Good question.
Everything is a lie. The Bible wasn't even written by the same person. It's been written, rewritten, added to, all kinds of things. I ask you, if you observe a situation, if you're observing an event, you are going to have your own perspective on how you saw that event unfold. And if you're in a crowd, there's going to be 100 other people with a different perspective. So why are you basing your life off of a book?
Well said.
And I'm not a Satanist or anarchy. I'm a deeply spiritual person, deeply connected person. But this whole religion thing is creating extremism in some ways. And people are going to be very devastated when they figure out. Many people are saying, wow, is everything a lie? Everything is a lie.
You guys are aware that they are going to kill us, right? Like, they're going to start killing us and just replicating what we saw during the Holocaust. Except for this time, it won't be the Jews who are persecuted. It will be leftists. Anyone who speaks out, anyone who's left a trail on social media, speaking out against this administration, anyone who has voted for Kamala Harris. They will label anyone they want as Antifa, including Kamala Harris, and then say anyone related or connected or who has donated in any way to her campaign or to whatever cause they deem Antifa, and then they will find us and kill us. You can say I'm being inflammatory, but just watch this clip.
The violent criminals we can see in the streets. Fighting crime is more than just getting the bad guy off the streets. It's breaking down the organization brick by brick. Just like we did with cartels, we're going to take the same approach, President Trump, with Antifa. Destroy the entire organization from top to bottom.
Newsflash, we're the brick.
Did y'all see what the president just said about the G's? No? Watch this, I'll be right back.
So we're into 6G now. I just 5G. I was a leader on 5G getting that done. And now they're up to 6. Let's do it again. What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin? See how perfect it is? I like the cameras the old days. So they just had a nice feature. Now they cover every little...
Sorry, did he just say that it looks inside the human skin? Of course, we know that he's completely just playing. Pretty coincidental that this exact one happens to be 6 out of all numbers. Yeah, I know it goes in order, but still. Safe to say, I don't think there'll be a 7. By the way, speaking of the 6-7 fad, I'm sure it's completely organic, completely unrelated. To be at 6s and 7s means to be in a state of confusion, disorder, disarray from trying to manage too many things at once. Have you guys seen the news lately? Have you guys seen the thousands of narratives happening on Twitter right now, lately? Have you guys seen the GOP tell us things are completely opposite of reality lately? Unrelated.
Always on the 6. This reality is fixed within the number 6.
On October 20th, 2024, a group of engineering students from the USC Viterbi School of Engineering, with some major corporate sponsors including Boeing and SpaceX, these students broke the amateur international rocket altitude record with their rocket named Aftershock 2, going higher than any non-governmental and non-commercial group has ever flown before at an alleged altitude of 470,000 feet. Kudos to them, it's an amazing achievement. But as you would expect, all of the press release articles regarding the USC event show you fisheye lens stills like this one, that for some strange reason are always used to fake a supposed Earth curvature. Yeah, that's not deceptive at all. Although the video was filmed with a fisheye lens, which globe proponents will always falsely claim is the curvature of the Earth, but if we pause video here, the straight rope tells us that the middle of the opening closely indicates our reality. And what does the horizon look like at 470,000 feet? That's right.
That stuff is flat.
I could sit here and argue for like 10 minutes about this, but I'm not going to waste my time because I just know that I'm right.
Oh! Remember I was talking about the Nephilim like 2024, 2023 and shit? Yeah, we back at it, yo. Peep this shit, yo. Listen.
For a long time, humans and trolls lived side by side in perfect harmony until a new world order crept over Europe.
Y'all peep the symbolism that's going on?
In Norway, a young king was assigned to Christianize the country, Olaf the Holy. The new faith had no room for primordial beings of the earth. From the safety of their dark forests, Olaf drove them out into the sunlight, where they were turned to stone. With sword and Bible in hand, Olaf scoured the land of trolls. As the massacre progressed, the trolls grew wary of the sanctity of Christianity. The age of the trolls was over.
What you're looking at right here is a picture of David and Goliath. Goliath was supposed to be a Nephilim in the Bible, right? Someone who was big as shit compared to the average man. Mysterious giant-like beings mentioned in the Hebrew Bible as the offspring of divine beings. Now tell me they wasn't just explaining that shit through this movie. Troll 2. I told y'all about the Troll 1, but this shit, yo, they just be giving us the hints and they be telling us, bro. Now I know y'all also heard about the Kandar giant. And if you haven't, just look that shit up, bro. It literally tell you everything. The military whole spill. What happened back in 2002, bro. Yeah, we back with that heat.
Wake up, wake up. They tell you the truth in movies, y'all. Remember that.
What the hell is going on with time? I've done so many videos and I've told y'all time is messing up, but y'all don't believe me, and that's okay. But here's a story of a lady who went to work. When she went to work, she parked at her usual space that she's been parking at for months. When she got off work, her car was magically parked somewhere else, and the space she thought she parked in was empty. How the hell does that happen? You're at work. How does that happen? Well, her first thought is, what the hell's going on with my car? Obviously. She calls her boyfriend. She's like, hey, did you move my car? He's like, no. So then she goes to the security office. She says there's something wrong. They go check her car out. Her car is fine. She goes, well, we need to look at the footage. So they go to the office. They're looking at the footage, and you are never going to believe how her car got moved. But you got to watch the video to figure it out, because this blew my mind. I could not believe this.
A couple weeks ago, I took off of work. My last night, I worked. I always park in the same 3 spots. Creature of habit for 6 years. I park, I back in, and when I back in, I'm facing this way, okay? I do my shift, I come out of work, and when I come out of work, my car is parked in a row over there, backed in, facing that way. Excuse me. I'm so freaked out. I text my boyfriend as I'm walking back in the building, and I'm like, hey, did you come get my car and move it for some reason? He said, no, I don't even know where your other key fob is, by the way. And I said, okay, I'll call you in a few minutes. I go back into the security office. I said, my car was moved. Can you come look at it with me? What can we do? We go out, we look at my car. I don't see anything wrong. And I said, I'm really freaked out. Can we watch footage? I said, because something isn't right. I said, that spot over there is where I was parked. And the spot was empty. So we go in. He starts looking at footage. And in the footage, the spot where I parked is empty. You could see a flicker once or twice. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. But I park in the spot where I found my car when I walked out after my shift. But I'm wearing a totally different scrub outfit, and I have my old bag that I used to carry before I posted one here when I bought a new LL Bean bag. I was in a totally old outfit. And I said, no, this can't be right. I said, look at my outfit. Look what I'm wearing. Look at my bag. And he was like, oh, yeah. I said, this has to be old. He said, no, old footage erases after so much time. And I said, okay, well, this can't be right. And he said, no, look at the trees. Look at the timestamp. This is last night. I said, but I didn't park over there. I parked in that empty spot. So we kind of looked at each other, we were both kind of like, what? I don't know what happened. I said, can you please just come back out with me to really take a look at my car? Took a good look at my car. Didn't see anything wrong. Didn't see anything missing in my car or moved. But something happened with time. And it's so weird. Totally freaked out. This happened 3 weeks ago. I think about it every single day. And I've been not wanting to tell the story because I don't want to sound crazy. But this happened. There was a glitch and my car was in a different spot. And you even saw 2 little flickers in the video. I don't know. But something is definitely happening with time. I've been having weird dreams. I woke up with a swollen eyelid.
Is that not crazy? Did I not tell you it was going to blow your mind? How does that even happen? I know I've been through my own fair share of glitches, but when it happens to you, you are freaking the hell out because it is entirely too scary. Your mind can't comprehend what is going on because you know you're not crazy and you know what you know that you know that you know. So I get it. I understand where the hell she's coming from. And time is screwing up. There's so many things going on with time right now. Not just time, with glitches. So many people are experiencing glitches right now. It's almost like something has gone into overdrive and it's messing time up. But anyway, what do you guys think? Put your thoughts below because I can't wait to see what you guys have to say about this one. As always, this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is my opinion and speculation, and it's not misinformation.
Y'all gotta check out Glitches in the Matrix on YouTube, man. The stories are unbelievable. What do y'all think, though?
Some breaking news for you guys. I said I wasn't going to do any news and information that you could use today, but you absolutely need to know this. The U.S. has officially bombed Iran. President Donald Trump said Saturday that U.S. warplanes carried out strikes on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, calling the attack successful and saying the aircraft had departed Iranian airspace. The strikes targeted nuclear facilities at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan, Trump said in a post on Truth Social. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow has indicated. Israeli fighter jets struck 3 Iranian F-14 fighter jets today in a Saturday evening attack, an Israeli military spokesman actually said. So in addition to the bombers or bombings by the United States, folks, it looks like exactly what it is. For more news and information, I'll, of course, be keeping you guys updated on what is going on. But this just dropped, and I literally had to let you guys know. If you have not seen, it has officially started. They said 2 weeks. We knew it was quiet for a reason.
Hey God, who is that? My son. This is my newest creation, Christ the Savior. Very cool. What's his job gonna be? His job will be to save the human race from me torturing them. He's gonna save them from who? He's gonna save the human race from me. And how exactly is he gonna do that? I'm gonna send him to Earth to die in a blood sacrifice to me. Wow, that seems very satanic and evil. How is this Christ figure gonna pull it off? I'm so happy you asked. Last night I cloned myself, 1/3 to be exact, and Christ is actually me too. So let me get this straight. You're gonna send yourself to save the humans from you, while wearing a Halloween costume so they won't recognize you saving them from you. Pretty fucking solid plan, don't you think? I don't know, I think the humans might see through that. That's exactly why I'm gonna go do all this in the 1st century. So basically you're tricking and deceiving everybody. That's exactly right.
Damn, homie nailed it. What do y'all think?
Scientists reveal origins of giant object that smashed into Earth. How do you interpret these types of things? If you believe there's a dome over the Earth, my view is that there is a container that is pressurizing our world. But there is a giant object that did smash into the Earth. And it is, ta-da, the moon! Not the luminary that's in the sky. Light can't crash into the Earth. This is a projection, just a light in the sky, of a physical portion of the firmament itself, which I call the apex dome. That portion of the firmament is being projected. Light is passing through it because it acts as a lens, and it's projecting into our atmosphere stars and planets and the sun and the moon and comets too. The firmament goes upwards, and then it dips down at the top. That portion, that bowl hanging down in the sky, that's the quintessential all-seeing eye. There are times when people can see this object. The Dark Ages are the best example because there's numerous accounts of people drawing this object, this hanging bowl in the sky, all throughout the Dark Ages. The quote-unquote dawn of civilization in Akkad and Mesopotamia and Babylon and stuff, they also depicted the apex dome. So there were many times whenever people saw this object in the sky. Every other apocalyptic cycle, when the sky opens up, that dome breaks off and it will fall straight down. It's hanging over the North Pole. It will break off, it will fall on down, and it will crack open on the Earth. And it will create lots of icebergs and stuff like that in fresh water. But every other cycle, something happens that allows the apex dome to float and not fall to the Earth and not hit the ground. It's very interesting when you look into the story of King Og. In Arabic, this is how he was oftentimes drawn. So you see this Atlas pose, this huge guy, looks like he's holding a giant brain or something. That's a mountain. He was standing over the land that did exist at the North Pole, a circular land, where I believe the original Jerusalem was. And it seems to be holding up another world. That other world is that drooping portion of the firmament that I call the apex dome. So we have this figure holding up some other world or holding up a mountain, just as King Og was said to have done, with the intention of dropping it onto the Hebrew Israelite camp. According to the legend, whenever he was getting ready to let go, when he went to go do this, God intervened and stopped the mountain when it was around his neck, and so it never fell. It never fell down to crush the camp of the saints. And this is that apex dome. It happens through electromagnetism. That island below is magnetic. That whole nation, that whole circular island, see how it's a circle? This whole island, it's electromagnetic in nature. This mountain in the middle is a magnetic mountain. They call that a lodestone mountain. These mountains around the outside are also magnetic. So it's electromagnetic in nature. The ice comes down. Something electromagnetically causes the ice to just lock in the air, and it hovers above this land right here. And it acts as Asgard. It acts as another world that's floating in the sky, or a city that's floating in the sky, or something like that.
Ooh wee, that was a crazy 1 hour banger there. I appreciate you hanging out with your homie Kaz. Make sure to smash that subscribe button and press the notification bell so that we stay up to date for the latest react. Comment, like, share, and all the other good stuff. And have an amazing, prosperous, super safe, family-filled day. Until next time, I'll see y'all on the next one. Kazi Ka signing out. Peace.